Make a double-ended cinch bag with this quick and easy tutorial. I have a scrap of Ripstop. It's got a coating on the back, so it's waterproof. We've got the elastic, the cord lock, the end pieces, and I'm going to make it's 20 inches wide, my scrap piece. I'm gonna fold it over and make a tube, and I'm thinking about 14 inches. I'll cut this in diameter. So I'll put this right on the line and then can back it off a little bit. It's about 14 inches right there. So I am cutting it at 14 inches. This is folded over. So I've got my rotary cutter and I'm going to follow this ruler at the 14-inch line. I'm now ready to sew my 20 by 14 diameter tube together out of this ripstop grid coated fabric, and I have right sides together. When you start sewing this, start an inch from the beginning, do your seam, and then your top seam, and then stop an inch from the end. If you want to clip where an inch might be, okay, so I have an inch right here, so I could clip right here before I even start, so I know where an inch is on both sides, and then you start your seam, and then do your top stitch over that. So you have both ends open an inch. So I'm going to use the single stitch, no zigzag, about an 8 on my machine. You can choose the amount of seam that you want. I'm about a little more than a quarter inch. Okay, taking it out, caught both sides. That's the back and the front. And now I'm gonna get in here and I'm going to do a top stitching so that it gives it an extra layer of protection from ripping open. Right now, I have it so that I'm on the right side, the side you'll see when I'm done, and I'm gonna follow this seam right here, and I'm gonna put another layer of stitching in. Although you may on your machine have to turn it over because this PU coating on the back is a little sticky on the machine. I can feel it tugging. I have my seam to the left. It doesn't matter which way it is as long as you're sewing over whichever side of seam you're on. So I'm gonna pull it and try and keep it even. So I'm pulling it apart and I'm sewing through the top and the seam underneath because the seam is going this way. And if you'd like, you can seam seal this with some seam sealer on the back because you do have that extra layer of stitches through here. So there I've sewn right through the seam, and then the other side. So with this inch, this is important to leave open. It's not the only way to do it, but this is going to be folded in so that you can fold your hem down and it leaves a nice edge to this for the cording to come out on both sides. So that's what we'll be doing on both sides is folding in our 1 inch in and then folding our hem in. We have an inch open. We're going to fold it and fold it again for the hem. That way your cording it has a little place to come out and be cinched in. So it's a nice little opening area. So it's your choice whether you want a tiny zigzag or a single stitch or even a triple stitch. That's your choice. And it is possible to put your cord in here. Just lay your cord in here as you're going and sew it in. I folded over this corner and I have an inch in. So this time I'm not going to put my cord in. I'm going to keep this edge along this presser foot and backstitch. Make sure you backstitch to lock it in. I'm going to pull it towards me, pinch about an inch. And we're going to use a safety pin to pull our cord through this time. And when we come to this edge, fold that in, fold it over, and then go right across. Go back. And remember, you're working on right side is towards the machine. You're working on the wrong side. This is the wrong side where the hem is going to be. All right, so here I've cinched the hole in one end of my bag. It'll look like that on this end too. And that's as tight as I can get it. The material is stiff and that's as tight as I can get it. So I have a little gap here. You could use another fabric sewn on the end of here that'll go tighter. So we need a circle to go in behind here when you cinch it. So what this material is for, and template, is to make a circle that will fit inside here on the inside so you have the end covered. I'll take my marker and I'll mark around the template. This is a disappearing ink. There's my circle. And then I'll cut out 2 pieces, one for each end. Now take one of these circles and you're going to put it like here at that opening and you're going to stitch across. So now that we've gone over our circle, I'm going to go ahead and do another stitch all the way around, just to make sure that there's a backup stitch in there, because you're going to have plenty of use out of this bag, and we just want it to be secure with 2 lines of stitching. This is easy to go through, easy to stitch. As you see, I'm on a regular home sewing machine and I'm not having any problems. There we are. So we've got the elastic, the cord lock, the end pieces, and our pin, and we're going to hook it up into the end of this elastic. And actually, I'm going to put it down on this mat so I don't go through my finger with it. Also, push it through and get it threaded through my needle of my safety pin. There we go. Taking the end that needs it, I'm going to start threading this through, pushing and pulling the safety pin right through the hem so that we can get the elastic all the way around the end of the bag. And then we'll meet it through the cord lock and the end piece that holds it secure. So I'm just cinching it through little by little and then pulling it out the back. And I have to be careful of this end. Well, I have the cord lock on it. That'll stop it. But if you don't have a cord lock on the end yet, you don't want it coming around so fast that it goes whoop right in the bag. Ask me how I know, because I've done it. But it's easy. You just pull it all the way through and start over. It's not a big deal. Call it practice. Okay, here's the end of the safety pin coming through. Be careful of it in case it opens up on you. Sometimes it'll get hit just right where it'll open up and get stuck in your hem or in your finger, one of the two. Hopefully neither. Okay, now I'm going to pull this a little bit, take this off, set that aside, maybe so we don't get injured. We'll hook it up. I need to put this end, and hopefully these cord locks, you have to push them all the way in so that you have that open hole. When they're out, that's when it gets closed on the elastic. So you got to push it all the way open to get your elastic, round elastic through. And there it is. It went through. There's a little tiny knot on this end. I should try and get a little tiny knot on this end, but it might be difficult because I need to really pull it tight. And then once it's really tight, you want to kind of clip this mess right here off. And I'm cutting off close to the edge this end piece, which is used. I pulled it off a pair of old shoes and I am reusing it so that it will fit into, comes in pretty handy. Now I have to put the knot in this side and this side, one in one side to hold it and one in the other side to hold it. Okay, there's one in there, and this one is bigger because that's the one I did, and there it is. Okay, they're in. Now I have to pull this up and get this all popped in side here, nice and snug. Might even have to pull it a little. Pull it a little, and it pulls it right down in there.
There we go. Very nice. Okay.
And then you just pull it to make it even, all the cinching all the way around. Probably could have gone with a little bit bigger hem. There we go. There's my two ends, the two flap covers. You can see all the way through. If you'd like to, you can seam seal your seam so that it's waterproof. I haven't done that.
And here's the final result. Like and comment below and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. Perfect.